What's up, race fans? If you guys missed the 9th annual West Coast Outlaw Figure 8 Championship, I gotta tell you, it was a wild race. And today I am interviewing the champion of the race, Ben Tunny. What's up, Ben?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Talking to you from Indianapolis today. So long ways away, but feels like home out there.
Right. Yeah. You guys come from all over the country to race, and you made it out and you left with the trophy, the championship, the money. How much money did you win?
$10,000 for the win.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. So Ben, give everybody a little history, a little history about your race experience and career.
Well, we started out here in 2003 at this place called Indianapolis Speedrome, and that's just like a place 5 minutes from here. And our families all do it a lot of times. And I grew up watching my dad do it with my brothers. And we went there throughout the 90s. And when I turned 16, it was like 2003, I took over my dad's old car, and he had kind of put it aside and saved it for me. And then as I got older, I passed it to each younger brother. And we've just carried it on from then on till now, and we're still doing it. And now we've grown from running just over here at the Speedrome to being able to travel all the way out there in California and race at least once a year and do that big show. And it's a pretty incredible thing to watch it come from here in our backyard and go all the way there for a big race.
Yes, it is really an intense race. And I do want to mention that you and your brothers all raced in this race as well, right? And I think you guys were like the leaders for most of the time.
Yeah, that's true. I've been out there almost every year since they've had the race, but my brothers only came a few of the times. And Austin won it last year, and I think he also won it in 2016, but he didn't come a lot of years in between there. And Jesse's only ran a few times as well. But this year, we all three ran together the same race. And like you said, we were up front most of the race, bouncing back and forth, changing position. And it came down to the final 50 laps out of 200 and 200 laps, then end up being a race for the win with my two brothers. So it was intense for sure, because you don't want to make the next week at Thanksgiving awkward.
That's funny. So how is it, racing your own brothers, and then you got first place? Was there any attention, because you won? And I mean, how did that go down?
Yeah, we're used to it because we do it out here, and luckily we've been able to be pretty successful. So we started to get used to running for the win and racing each other hard like that. And there's never really been anything bad that's happened. When you lose, you're deep down, you're hurt, and your pride's, let off, and you know that he got you today, or this brother beat me, and you're kind of sad, but you're also happy that your brother was the one who got it done. My brother Austin won the world championship race out here in September, and I was running up there with them in that race. It was me and Jesse and Austin also. And I fell out with a broken part kind of at the last hour of our 3-hour race. And when it was done, it came down to just my two younger brothers racing it out for the win. And also my cousin Mark actually does it also and is really good. And he was up there mixing it up with my two brothers. And when they got done, I was let down that I wasn't part of that mix, but I was also just super proud of my brothers and just felt really lucky that we were at that level where we're all racing each other in those big races for the win and stuff. And they did a great job. So we race each other with respect, but really hard. And we kind of know what line not to cross with each other. And when we get done, when you lose, your heart broke, but you're also, proud of your brother at the same time.
Yeah, because at least it's the win is in the family, right? So it's still
right. You wouldn't want to have anybody else beat you any more than them,
Right.
And my dad, when we grew up, raced with his brother, which is my cousin Mark's dad, the one I mentioned a minute ago. They raced like that, but they were harder on each other than we are. And my grandma would always always take us to the races. And she would say, now, when you two get older, you guys don't be doing this to grandma. I can't handle that. And then when my dad was still around and watching, he said, he owned the cars. So he said, you guys better not act like me and your uncle, because these are my race cars. And I said, well, how come you were able to do it and we're not? He said, well, I could tear up my own stuff, but you aren't tearing up my stuff. And,
so you had to go get your own, huh?
Yeah. So then now we've just learned to race that way, because that's how we were taught, and we just have fun with it. We have fun racing each other hard, battling like that. And it's what we grew up wanting to do. So we're actually living out childhood dreams, so to speak.
It is a really fun hobby. Now, is this your career, or do you have like a 9 to 5 or something else that you do?
No, we're actually in my office now. This is my auto repair shop. So I own a car business that works on street cars and stuff. And I've actually branched it out to the motorsports side, where now we're selling race car parts in the office and working on people's race cars and their street cars. So I got like one side of the shop out here is like a motorsport side to work on people's race cars and stuff like that. And the other side is just your ordinary street car service, like tires and oil changes and stuff. And then we're selling parts up front. So that's what I do regularly. However, business has been slow with the economy and things lately.
Yeah.
So the motorsports is a hobby, but it's a profession at the same time. We take it pretty serious, and that there's decent money on the line and sponsors involved and fans, and you have T-shirts and that you sell, and sponsors that are involved that help you try to get to these races, to be a part of the team. And when you go out there, you can lose money as a business. It's almost like a gamble. If you don't do good, you could lose money. But on the occasion that you do really well, you can make some, but you have to kind of prepare to put it back for the next race that you go to, and also the maintenance of the race car to get ready to be able to keep doing these things. So it is a hobby, but it's also professional motorsports also.
Yeah, no, that's a fun hobby, but like you said, it's a gamble. So you are investing a lot of money into it, and you just hope that you win. So I'm sure there's a lot of training, practice that comes, with the territory. How often do you practice? How often are you getting out there and
Well, I've practiced a lot. Like I said, I started in 2003. We race weekly out here.
Okay.
But they have a lot of times where, like the day before a race or something like that, they'll have an open practice where people can just pay to get in and come bring their cars and practice and stuff like that. I might do some of those early in the year. Then they let you rent the track for a pretty fair price. So if there's times you're trying to do things different with your car to make yourself better, sometimes you'll rent the track and go practice and try those things out. Just like when we come out there, we have practice all day Friday, and that's all just getting your car and yourself used to the track and the environment and making changes and stuff. So it is a constant, battle. It's a lot of, it's more, than just driving and having money. You got to have a lot of knowledge about these kind of cars and be able to work on them to make them competitive. So there's a lot of homework involved at home that takes time in the garage, and time that you spent, like in high school. I used to take these books and read about these kind of things. They were chassis design books and things like that. And my dad used to have them, and I would take them from him and bring them to study hall. And so I get my homework done. I would read those race car books and learn about setups and different things. And then when I got home, I would ask questions about the parts I didn't understand and try to learn. And then, over time, you get the hands-on experience when you start racing, and then you begin learning on your own through trial and error. And then just like anything in life, when you put your mind and your time and effort, all your passion into it, you can typically become successful at it.
Right, exactly. Time, practice, dedication, and passion, which you definitely have the passion for it. And having that, your profession is like the perfect tie-in, because that way, if you need to fix your car, you need to upgrade it, you've got everything right there, and it probably is more cost efficient, right, for you, since you have
we just got into that, right? Maybe a month before the race out there, we just started getting some equipment, because I usually just keep it at a separate garage and work on it in the evenings. When we closed up the auto repair shop, we would drive there and work on our cars. And the idea was to get the equipment here to work on other guys' cars and do some work for them. So use that passion and the knowledge that you've learned over the years to turn it into like a partial career. And why not try to make some money and a living at it? If you can do the same thing at home for free, you might as well do it during the daytime too, if you got time.
Yeah.
So now it just helps spread out my load a little bit. I can work on a street car, but if it's slow and there's a race car that needs work, I can work on that. And if not, I can work on the race car for myself also.
Well, they say when you love what you're doing, you don't work a day in your life. So it sounds like you're a great example of that.
That's what I'm trying to do. Because when I do try to do other jobs that don't work too good because I don't like them, all I think about is racing stuff. So it takes away from everything else. But like you just said, if you can work on what you love, it's not working. So that's kind of what I push myself to do, is just kind of make a living at doing what I love. And that's what I'm good at. So
yeah,
I'm trying.
You're doing it. You're such an inspiration, because people need to know out there that, hey, if you love something, you can make it into, a business. You just got to figure it out, right?
Yeah, just find a way to monetize it. And it takes time. Like I said, I just did it a few months ago, and I've been racing for 20 years. So it's not like I'm figuring it all out quick. I'm still learning different parts of this whole thing as time goes on. And, we didn't used to do things like this, these interviews and the web and the Facebook videos and the media. And we didn't get to come out and race California all the time. That's stuff that's developed over time. And now we've done it, like you said, 9th annual. Next year going to be a big annual, and looking forward to it. Like, I think it's pretty cool if we can just keep getting this stuff out, more and more people seeing it. We could start going to more places and getting new faces and new eyes on this stuff. And I think that most people that come tend to really enjoy it. So, we just need to.
It is really an amazing race. So if you guys have never experienced figure eight racing, it is intense. It's so exciting. And, you find your favorites, your favorite cars. I mean, okay, let's talk about the race, because because there was like a couple cars that were like going really slow. And I kept pointing them out, and I kept saying, man, they're messing everybody up. Do you remember what car? What was it? It was like a little orange car, I think. Do you remember which one it was?
Yeah, probably that 33.
Yeah, 33.
Yeah, I know who that is.
How did you feel when you were coming up to this car, and he's probably going 10, 15 miles slower than you, if not more, and you were just like,
yeah. Well, they tend to have those at every track you go to. You have different guys that are out there just to kind of be out there. They're thinking if they can ride around and make laps, that everybody else, even if they're way faster, if they break or crash or fall out, and they can just keep making laps, that they can beat them. And that's fine. They're welcome to come do that. And now that they are out there, they do that at all these different tracks. You'll have cars that are like that. So I've grown used to watching out for those type of cars. And when you roll up on them fast, sometimes you never know which way to go around them, go around the high side or the low side, and sometimes they've been letting you go, and then other times they don't let you go, and sometimes they'll stop for you on the crossover in the intersection, and other times they shoot through there and you have to slam the brakes. And some of them are scary and unpredictable, and other people are real careful and respectful about it. And you tend to really like those guys. You're like, I know that it can't be much fun for you out here riding around like that, just slow, but you do a nice job at it. And, you appreciate those guys. But the ones, like you said, that are really messing things up, they are annoying as a driver sometimes, but if they didn't mess us up, sometimes that's what makes the race get its moments of stir crazy excitement, where a guy goes here and another guy goes here, and we split around them and come out on the other side and start racing each other. And you're like, oh, he just messed him up. But now look at these guys. Now they're battling. And that's the kind of stuff that tends to make it good, really. Yeah. Even though it can be frustrating, it tends to give it the excitement,
Yeah. And so just in case for the people that have never seen figure eight racing, it's literally a figure eight track. And these guys are literally zooming by each other, inches away from hitting each other. Now, in this race, did you get close to anybody, or did you get hit at all?
There was a few times I thought I was going to get hit. One time there's a young girl from Washington named Jillian Lapato. She was coming one time and I saw her, but I thought she was going to slow down a little bit, and it'd be like you getting ready to run a stop sign and you see another car coming and you think that they're going to stop, but she didn't stop. She just kept coming, and I literally had to just mat it to the floor and hope that I didn't get hit. And I was all tensed up waiting on contact to come. And I think at the last second, I saw the video, she like locked up her brakes and barely missed me. And then I was coming head on into the front stretch wall where the guys normally run the oval. And I had to slow down and make sure I missed the wall and not get hit. And I was like, oh, man. That was close there. But then there's other moments where it's just like, you see it getting kind of messy and crazy, and you just kind of have to pause and slow down just a little bit and let the chaos kind of dissipate a little bit and pick your hole carefully as you can. But, it's never really too careful when you're doing that.
I feel like you guys just kind of get into the flow of it too. Like you see each other, and if you can tell somebody's like at a certain point and you're at a certain point, like there's just kind of like a common like.
Yeah, it's kind of like a right away thing.
Yeah.
It's like, this guy's at this point and you're at another point. You kind of feel like you have the right of way. You just kind of go and you just trust that they're going to miss you. And then vice versa. If a guy is a little bit ahead of you, just like the right of way at a stop sign, whoever gets there first has the right of way. But when two cars get to a stop sign really close, there's usually someone that got there just a tick before the other, and whoever gets there first usually goes first. That's how it works. And that only, we don't stop. We're doing it as we continue that motion. And it's freaking nuts because it doesn't always go as simple as that, And and sometimes there's 8 cars involved, a pack of 2 people side by side, and then you're in a pack and they're meshing together all in one intersection. You got guys stopping, guys going, guys splitting around cars and coming from places you can't even see.
That is funny. And
nuts,
and this one,
that's fun at the same time.
And this one was 200 laps. So let's talk about like your endurance, your stamina to keep up with 200 laps.
Yeah, I was getting pretty wore out. It wasn't a hot day out there. Usually on big races, I'll drink a lot of electrolytes and water. That day was pretty comfortable out, so I didn't drink an overload of good stuff like I should have. So I remember physically cramping up, like my fingers where I hold the steering wheel, one of them locked up and was sticking out the wrong way. I'm like, get back down, grab the wheel. I couldn't even grab the wheel no more because one of them was locked up and I was driving with like 2 fingers.
Oh my God.
And then when the caution come out, I was like shaking my hand, trying to bend my fingers. And I think, that was from being dehydrated, because I usually don't have that happen, especially when it's not hot out where you're not like sweating a bunch. Yeah. But I probably should have hydrated a little better. But sometimes your legs will cramp up because when you're holding yourself in the seat, you tend to use the steering wheel to hold your body where you want it. So if you just relaxed and just kind of hung out like you're just chilling, your body would just flop over and you'd be trying to steer while your body's just laid over and trying to steer. So you tend to use your arms and your hands and you kind of tense up. Oh, and your whole body's tensed up. Your legs are tense because you're trying to control the brake and the throttle real careful and real smooth. And your bottom of your thighs will get cramps in them. Your ankles, from trying to be real controlled on your ankle for the pedals, as you just kind of use your heel and your toe and just kind of tiptoe with the pedals, those will get tired too. But I remember this time it was a pretty fast paced, hard fought race, battling with guys for the lead. I remember what bothered me most was like my hands cramping up, and then physically, like when the yellow flag would come out, being like, just trying to catch your breath. Like I remember like puffing for air, like out of breath, like, Jesus, I just need some air.
Yeah.
Like you're just literally winded from hanging on, because usually when you grab something and you tense up, you don't breathe. You just forget about it.
Hulu, Spotify, billboards, photo shoots, radio, TV, and websites. To see what else we offer, visit www.nv.media
So
or call
the yellow flag was a good thing. When you'd see the yellow flag, little break.
I didn't want the one at the end because this 200 lap race, it turned us into a fuel mileage thing where everyone was running out of gas.
Yes, I noticed that.
We didn't expect that. We usually run more laps and don't run out of gas. but there was a lot of cautions and yellow flags in this particular race. And that whole time, the engine just running and running. I think it ran us down on gas a little more than what we would have thought, and no one was prepared for it. So, yeah, the yellows were nice at some points, but other times I would be really fired up, racing hard, and I'd just be like, oh, I just need to catch my breath. Now I'm ready to go. It's more intense than what it looks like. People will watch in-car cameras and they'll say it looks like you're just on a Sunday drive, but you don't feel everything from a video that you do in real life. And it's pretty hard. Like, it's harder than what you think, for sure.
Yeah. I remember when you got out of the car after you won, you looked like exhausted, and I think you were like huffing and puffing a bit. And, you could tell it was intense. Like, this isn't just like a mental, watching the road. This is like physical. Like, you got to use your whole body and everything. And so let's talk about some highlights from the race. Are there any like points of the race that you want to highlight that anything?
Well, that moment where that girl about hit me in the intersection, that was close. The moment when, like I said, the fuel mileage thing, there was literally a caution with like 5 laps to go. And I remember physically being mad because I thought that the caution could have waited till the race was over. Like, there was a stalled car, but he was pretty good out of the way. And there was already people starting to run out of gas. And I was like, man, I wish we just kept the green flag out, because now all these yellow flags, I'm probably going to run out of gas. Yeah. I remember I was super mad. So I remember the announcer pointing out that he could see me, hitting the steering wheel, just aggravated. So I bet that point would show some emotion there, because I was fighting the whole race just to get to the lead. Yeah. So when I finally got the lead away from my brother on a restart, that felt good. That was a highlighted moment. Like, finally, I've been working this whole race to get here. Now I finally got the lead. Now let's just keep it. And then that caution come out, and I thought for sure I was going to run out of gas and lose it all due to running out of gas. It was really going to kill me on the inside if I lost from that reason.
Yeah.
And those are big moments there that I remember, just finally getting the lead and then thinking it was all going to be thrown away from running out of gas.
Wow.
For sure.
Wow. Yeah, it's crazy. And you're the racer, you're out there, but you have a team.
Yeah, there's a big group of people that, make all this stuff possible. The crew, the sponsors, family, friends that pitch in, and I want to first thank, the sponsors that let me get out there, because financially going across the country is not easy. And the Polk brothers they're actually from Huntington Beach, California. Bob Polk, he's a big sponsor of ours. Polk Brothers Racing, and Vapor Kings Indy from out here, the Pro Touch Lawn Care, T8 Race Cars, Bob's To Your Door Pizza, Tunny Motorsports, this new shop we got here selling parts, helping out, making this all go around. Shuffett Snap Auto Care, Breed Love, ICA Dumpsters, Deb's Tunny Mortgages. There's so many people pitching in sponsor-wise that do little bits throughout the year that it's hard to remember everybody, but those are the main ones that I can highlight that help for.
Well, they believe in you. They believe in you, and that's, they sponsor you because they're like, you got this.
A lot of people get enjoyment out of watching us be able to go race and feel like they were a part of something, and then they watch it on TV or go out there and they're like happy to see it, because if I didn't get to go to them, sometimes that the race isn't any good unless I'm there to them. So they're like, well, if you didn't go, I wouldn't even want to watch the race. So I want to, whatever you need, I want to help you get there. It's not always that easy, but a lot of people want that. Mm-hmm.
And I want to, quick shout out for Rod Proctor that puts this event on. And Rod puts this on every year. Next year is going to be the 10th annual. So that's very exciting. And I know that he said he was going to up the amount of the win, the prize money. Did you hear how much it was going to be?
Yeah, he said that he was going to go to 25,000 to win instead of 10,000, and still pay 10,000 for second.
Wow, that's a great deal. Yeah. I already know I'm going to see you next year, right? And your brothers.
If something crazy don't happen, I'll be there. I'll make it there somehow. I don't know how yet, but we'll figure it out.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, guys, if you missed the races, you can go check out Low Budget TV that has the full race, I believe, on their website or on their social media. We did go live on the Facebook page, so you can go on there and catch some glimpse of the races and Ben racing and his brothers and everybody. And it was a lot of fun. But yeah, I just, thank you so much for, putting out your energy for everybody to experience and cheer you on. And, we love it. I'm a big fan. And so great job. Congratulations. And thank you for, the interview today. And any last words to everybody out there?
Yeah, I just want to tell everybody, if you didn't get to go and you never have been, please don't just swipe up and get rid of this video. Watch it. Look at the highlights. If you can't get Low Budget TV, it does cost a little money to be a member. They do have free clips, which is highlight videos from our races, and those are on YouTube. So you can type in you could even put my name, Ben Tunny, Outlaw Figure 8, on YouTube and watch a whole lot of highlight videos and things like that, and races from out there and Orange Show Speedway and other races that we run, and kind of follow what we do. And then you'll know what you're getting yourself into. And that's what I want more than anything, is for this to grow and to keep going and progressing. And I hope everyone gives it a chance. And I want new people and new eyes there, and everyone to give Rod Proctor great support for next year's big race, because he's putting a lot on the line to make this happen. And without him taking that risk, we might not be talking or doing the race altogether. And I'm appreciative of that. And I want to thank my crew for traveling the country with me and riding in the truck and bouncing over all the ruts and bumps in the road and the mountains and even blown out trailer tires and dealing with all that with me. All the crew can't go unappreciated at all. This ain't a 1 minute show. This is definitely a big operation with people behind the scenes that deserve a lot of credit, for sure.
That's right. Thank you. That is so true.
Yes.
Well, thank you again for the interview. Congratulations, the West Coast Outlaw Figure 8 Championship winner. It's a long name. Thank you, Ben. And thank you guys for tuning in. If you missed this year, you guys, you can't miss next year. It's going to be insane. It's going to be huge. The 10th annual. Once again, thank you to Rod for making this possible and bringing it to the IE. And Ben, once again, thank you. And we'll see you guys next year.
Yep. I'll see you there.
Bye.
Thank you.